You probably haven't forgotten Will Smith's shocking behavior at the 94th Academy Awards in 2022. A single slap caused a 56% increase in Oscar viewership that year, but both the media and the public lost interest in discussing the nominees or categories. The slap boosted Will Smith's fame on social media, not because of his acting talent or outstanding film roles, but because of the memes created based on the incident. However, this wasn't the only reason for Will Smith's career decline. What really happened to Will Smith? Will Smith was once one of the most successful and beloved actors in Hollywood. His acting career began impressively when he starred in the NBC television series The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. This work propelled his popularity to new heights. NBC aired 6 seasons, and it was rebroadcast across numerous other channels. The success of the series helped Will realize his passion for acting and set a personal goal of becoming the greatest movie star of all time. He began showcasing his talent on the big screen with his iconic role as Captain Stephen Hiller in Independence Day, followed by his portrayal of Agent J in Men in Black. Will has also delivered a long list of classic films over the years, with 8 consecutive projects grossing over $100 million at the U.S. box office. It's no exaggeration to say that whenever Will Smith's name appears in the cast, audiences can have complete confidence in the quality of the work. What do you think of Will Smith's glorious start? Leave your comments below, like the video, and subscribe to the channel to support me. But his success in film isn't the only thing that makes people admire him. Will Smith also has what appears to be a very complete family. In 1997, Smith married Jada Pinkett after 2 years of publicly dating. Jada is also a talented actress, and they quickly became a famous power couple. In 1998, they welcomed their first son, Jaden Smith, and later their daughter, Willow Smith, in 2000. Both began acting at a very young age and starred alongside Will Smith in several of his popular films. Inheriting artistic talent from their parents, both ventured into music and have since achieved successful careers. However, the fact that his entire family is involved in the entertainment industry means Will Smith's private life is always under public scrutiny. And beneath the facade of a happy family, hidden within are cracks that transformed Smith from a heartthrob into the hot-tempered man we see today. Going back to 2000, the golden age of Smith's acting career, he starred in Men in Black 2, 2002, Bad Boys 2, 2003, I, Robot, and Shark Tale, 2004, Hitch, 2005, The Pursuit of Happiness, 2006, I Am Legend, 2007, and Hancock, 2008. The total global box office revenue for these films reached $3.3 billion. During these years, he also received Oscar nominations for Best Actor for his roles in Ali and The Pursuit of Happiness. Along with that came a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Will Smith maintained his music career by releasing 2 albums, Millennium and Lost and Found, that reached the top of the Billboard charts. With these achievements, he was enjoying the glory that every aspiring actor and musician aspires to, and was considered by fans to be the highest-paid superstar in Hollywood. However, after the release of the film 7 Pounds in 2008, Will Smith made a choice that few would have dared to make at the time: to take a break from acting. He found himself suffering from a craving for material success and chose to dedicate his time to his family. He began planning for Jada's 40th birthday, which was still 3 years away. Smith made a documentary exploring her family's origins, along with organizing a lavish weekend party and arranging for Mary J. Blige to perform for Jada. Will Smith believed this would help his wife overcome the midlife crisis she was experiencing at the time. Ironically, upon returning to the hotel, Jada told Will Smith that the event was ridiculous. An argument ensued, and they decided to go their separate ways to reflect on their marriage. This was the period when Willow wrote a letter to Tupac Shakur, with whom Jada was believed to have had a long and complicated relationship. Significantly during this time, Will Smith also used the hallucinogenic drug ayahuasca 14 times. This experience gave Smith greater insight and led him to decide to return home to reconcile with his wife. In 2012, Will Smith made his big screen comeback with the release of Men in Black 3. Because he was continuing his role in a long-standing film franchise, the public expected the project to be a box office success, and indeed it was. The film grossed $654 million worldwide against a budget of only $215 million. Even more impressive was Smith's $100 million salary for the role, the second highest paid film role in history. Following this resounding success, everyone believed Smith would continue the glory he had achieved in the 2000s. However, his next project turned out to be the biggest setback of his entire career. Do you think Jada was too harsh on Will Smith's feelings? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. In 2013, he starred in a post-apocalyptic action film called After Earth, alongside Jaden. The film received a 12% Rotten Tomato rating and only 33 points on Metascore, making it Smith's lowest-rated film to date. Aimed at elevating his son Jaden Smith's film career by focusing on him, the film tragically ended his cinematic journey. Objectively, Jaden simply lacked the charisma to carry the film, but the terrible script also contributed significantly to its failure. Reports indicate the studio lost nearly $30 million on this project. However, even more bitter than the film's failure was the public backlash, particularly directed at Jaden. Cracks began to appear in the Smith family. In late 2015, the film Focus was released, starring Will Smith alongside Margot Robbie. He played a seasoned con artist mentoring a young female con artist. Just as they were preparing to film, photos of Smith and Margot Robbie in a photo booth were leaked. Star magazine published these photos and fabricated a story that Will Smith was cheating on his wife. Margot denied this. However, rumors resurfaced when audiences noticed their close interactions in press interviews. Neither of them commented further. That same summer, Jada attended a festival in London to show her support for Jaden and Willow, who were performing there. She met August Alsina, a rapper and friend of Jaden's. August was 22 at the time, while Jada was 43. Despite the age difference, they seemed to get along very well. August's family was struggling with Percocet addiction and other health problems, and Jada worked hard to help him overcome them. At this time, things were not going smoothly in Will Smith's household, and the media reported that Will and Jada were on the verge of divorce. The divorce rumors became so intense that Will Smith had to write posts on Facebook to deny the situation. Things got worse in 2016 when they decided to temporarily separate from their marriage. No one knows the exact reason, but one thing is certain. The separation paved the way for a relationship between Jada and August. He began spending more time with Jada, even going on vacation with her to Hawaii. That was the period when their bond transformed from close friendship into love. Compared to that, it was indeed a very difficult reality for Will Smith to accept. But things became even more emotionally costly for him when, 2 weeks before preparing for a new role, Smith received an urgent call concerning his father. He was informed that his father had been diagnosed with cancer and only had 6 weeks to live. His relationship with his father was extremely complicated. His father had a hot temper. When Smith was 19, he witnessed his father punch his mother, causing her to fall and bleed. This event left a deep scar, and since then he has always felt like a coward for not standing up to protect his mother at that time. Ultimately, Willard Carroll Smith Sr. passed away on November 7, 2016. What do you think about the complicated relationship between Jada and August Alsina? Leave a comment and remember to subscribe to the channel. Faced with this, although Smith showed resilience, this was an extremely dark period in his life. Added to this were marital troubles and a deteriorating personal life. His film career after Earth was also not very bright. He starred in big-budget films like Bright and Gemini Man, but none were financially or artistically successful. Projects like Suicide Squad and Aladdin lacked the freshness and originality of his previous works. Of course, we're not discussing the money he earned from the films, but for someone who was once a top Hollywood star, there was clearly a decline. And finally, there was Will Smith's shocking act at the 94th Academy Awards in 2022. Specifically, Jada suffers from congenital hair loss and chose to shave her head. At the ceremony, Chris Rock made a somewhat insensitive joke about how much he was looking forward to seeing G.I. Jane 2 because Jada looked like the character. Initially, Will Smith just smiled, perhaps not understanding the joke. But after noticing Jada's reaction, he walked straight onto the stage and slapped Chris in the face, then calmly returned to his seat and warned Chris not to mention his wife's name. Chris Rock's professionalism should also be commended for maintaining his composure and continuing the program. Will also won the Oscar for Best Actor for his role as Richard Williams in King Richard. He shed tears, seemingly trying to justify his actions as protecting his loved one. According to one of the show's producers, the LAPD intended to arrest Smith after the collision, but Chris said he didn't want to file a complaint. Days after the incident, Smith issued a public apology to Chris Rock on his personal Instagram account and received a 10-year Oscar ban.
Whenever you're ready to
Will
talk.
Smith left social media for a while and returned with an apology video. In any case, Smith's image was severely damaged, and the public no longer viewed him as they once did. He lost thousands of internet followers, and film studios are now hesitant to work with him. Although he remains a big name in the arts, his reputation has been significantly impacted. And if you've learned about Will Smith from this video, you'll surely be even more astonished by the fake, lavish lifestyles of Dan Bilzerian, or Meme King Shia LaBeouf.